Hello and welcome to Scholarph. This is our UTME Prep series where we provide relatively detailed solutions and explanations to the UTME question. And in this recording, we're looking at the UTME questions for biology for the year 2011. This is the second part of the recording where we're going to look at the next 25 questions. Before we continue, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and share our content. You can also visit our website at scholarph.com to practice UTME exam and modular quizzes. Alright, first question here on respiration. The sequence of the one-way gaseous exchange in a fish is... So the sequence is starting from the mouth. Okay, so the gas goes into the gills and then the operculum. So you have from the mouth to the gills and the operculum. Next, on reproduction. The type of asexual reproduction that is common to both paramecium and protists is fission, binary fission. Okay, so paramecium and protists, they undergo what we call binary fission, where a parent cell is going to split into two daughter cells. Next, on living organism reproduction. In nature, plants and animals are perpetually engaged in mutualism because they utilize respiratory waste of each other. So animals, okay, will require oxygen, okay, in respiration. Plants require carbon dioxide. Now animals, we breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. We breathe out carbon dioxide as a waste product. Animals, they require this carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. Okay, they need to take in carbon dioxide for photosynthesis, and one of the from the product of photosynthesis is the oxygen. So we need the oxygen that is produced by the plants for photosynthesis, while they also need the carbon dioxide that is produced, okay, by animals for photosynthesis. Okay, so we need the products from their photosynthesis and they need our products for photosynthesis. So that is a kind of what we call mutualism. Mutualism is a relationship where both organisms are benefiting from each other. So we utilize our respiratory waste. Alright, so this is a question requiring some calculation in an experiment to determine the percentage of humus and water in a soil sample. The following results were obtained. So you have the weight of the evaporating basin alone as 80.5, weight of the basin and soil as 101.5 grams. The weight after drying the soil in the oven is 99.0 gram. The weight of the basin and roasted soil, okay, is 95.5 gram. So we have to calculate the percentage of humus in the soil sample. Alright, so what we need to calculate here is the weight of the soil. Okay, what is the actual weight of the soil? Now the weight of the basin alone before the soil was added is 80.5, and the weight of the basin after the soil was added is 101.5. So if you subtract the weight of this basin alone from the weight of the basin and soil, we get the weight of the soil. So you have that to be 101.5 minus 80.5, and that is equal to 21 gram. So the weight of that soil, okay, is 21 gram. Alright, now since we are looking for the percentage of humus in the soil, we need to know what is the weight of the humus in that soil as well. Now the weight of the soil, we need to know what's the weight of the soil after drying out the water. So that soil had like two other things. The soil is one thing, okay, but in addition to the soil, or in the soil, we have water and we have humus. Now drying this soil in the oven is going to help to remove the water in it. Okay, it will remove the water in that soil. So if you want to get what is the weight of the soil now after drying out the water, that's going to be equal to 101, the weight of the basin and the soil, minus the weight after drying the soil, okay, 101.5 minus 99.0, and that is 2.5 gram. Okay, now the weight of the humus is now going to be equal to the weight of the soil, that's 99.0 gram, that's after drying, minus the weight of the soil, excuse me, okay, after drying out the water, which is 99.0, minus the weight of the basin after roasting the soil. Now there's something here that we need to understand, is what we are looking for is the weight of the humus. Now after drying this soil here, the only thing we now have now is the soil and humus. Water has been removed now, okay, it has been dried, so the water has dried off. So we now have the soil and the humus. But what we have here, okay, is after roasting the soil. Now roasting the soil, what that helps you to do is it helps you to remove the humus in it, or it makes it insignificant. Do you understand? It makes it insignificant. So this is the original weight of the soil and the basin, and this is now the weight of the soil. Okay, the weight of, say, the weight of the basin, the soil and humus. But now this is the weight of the basin and the soil alone. The humus has been removed. So to get the weight of the humus now is going to be this minus this. Okay, that is the weight of the soil and humus with the basin minus the weight of the basin and the soil only without the humus, and that is 3.5 gram. Okay, so the percentage of humus in the soil now becomes the weight of the humus in the soil, which is 3.5, divided by the actual weight of the soil, which is what we've calculated from here as 21 gram. Then multiply this by 100%. So this divided by this, okay, multiplied by 100% will give 16.7 percent. Next, on nutrition, an example of a filter feeding animal is the whale. So filter feeding animals are those animals that they take up the food. Okay, they just kind of like scoop the food, okay, and then they filter the unnecessary particles that are in it before they ingest the food. Next, on living organism, which of the following is a feature of the population pyramid of a developing country? So in a developing country, you are going to have low mortality or low death rate. Okay, there will be low death rate. There will be high birth rate. Okay, but low death rate basically is a characteristic of a developing country. Next, on ecology, the interaction of a community of organisms with its abiotic environment constitutes an ecosystem. Okay, so an ecosystem is basically the interaction, okay, a community of an organism interacting with its environment, biotic and abiotic. Next, on microorganism, the vector, that is the carrier of the malaria parasite, is a female Anopheles mosquito. Now the vector, they are those organisms that they carry what we call the causative organisms. The causative organisms are those organisms that actually cause the disease. They are actually responsible for the disease. For example, malaria. Okay, the organism responsible for malaria, the causative organism, is the Plasmodium falciparum. Okay, the Plasmodium is a causative organism. But in order for this organism to reach the host, it needs to be carried by something. Okay, that thing that carries it is the vector or the carrier, which is the female Anopheles mosquito. It is the vector of the Plasmodium, okay, which causes malaria. Next, on ecology, which of the following instruments is used to measure relative humidity? That is the hygrometer. The hygrometer is used to measure relative density or density. The thermometer is used to measure temperature. The hygrometer, which is what we are to identify here, is used to measure relative humidity, while the anemometer is used to measure wind speed. Next, on microorganism, the exoerythrocytic phase of the life cycle of malaria parasites occurs in the liver. Okay, it occurs in the liver. We have a website at Scholarph.com where you could practice exams for free, the UTME exam and the post-UTME exam. It also features modular quizzes in physics, chemistry and biology. So if you've studied a topic in any of the subjects and you want to test your understanding of the topic, you can head on to our website at Scholarph.com and take modular quizzes for free. Also, if you sign up on the website, it has a personalized dashboard where you could use to check your progress in learning. We also have interactive sessions on the website and on our social media platform. Freebies are also available to top performance on the website. Next, also on ecology, habitats are generally classified into, so largely we have aquatic habitat, that is water, like water bodies, and terrestrial habitat, the land. Next, on microorganisms, tricholiasis can be contacted through through drinking contaminated water. Okay, so it is a waterborne disease. It can be contaminated, it can be contracted rather, from the drinking of contaminated water. That is a water that has this causative organism here, the guinea worm, the Dracunlosis medinensis. Okay, that is a causative organism of trichomoniasis. Next, on ecology, which of the following groups of environmental factors are density dependent? That is dependent on the population, okay, of an organism, of the organism in a given habitat or area. That is food, predation, disease, and accumulation of metabolites. Okay, these are factors, okay, that have to do with population, okay, or density. It has to do with population density. Food, predation, kind of like competition, disease, and accumulation of metabolites. Next, also on ecology, millet, sorghum, maize, and onions are common crops grown in Nigeria. They are commonly grown in the Sudan savannah, okay, the core northern states in Nigeria like Sokoto, Katsina, Kebbi, Jigawa, etc. Also on ecology, in which of the following biomes is the southwestern part of Nigeria located? This is a question on local biome. Okay, that is in the tropical rainforest. In the tropical rainforest, the southwestern part of Nigeria is located in the tropical rainforest, which are regions of high rainfall. Next, on genetics, the inheritable characters that are determined by a gene located on the X chromosome is, those characters are said to be sex linked. Okay, the sex linked characters, they are born on the X chromosomes, and these characters are recessive, meaning they only manifest, that is, they are only expressed when they are in an homozygous pair. That's when an organism has an homozygous pair of those character. That is when it is expressed. So examples of this character include night blindness, color blindness, hemophilia, or what we call sickle cell anemia, and high blood pressure. These are sex-linked characters, and they are determined or born on the X chromosome. Also, in ecology, lack of space in a population can lead to an increase in disease rate. That is when you have congestion, when the organisms are just like packed in one place. So it will be faster for infection to travel from one organism to like contaminable disease, for example, or infections that let's say the transmission medium is through the air, like the coronavirus, for example. So in areas that are highly populated, a disease like coronavirus will spread fast, okay, because it goes by the air, from droplets, or basically from anything that can bear that virus, okay, and from which that virus can get to another organism. So when you have a lack of space or congestion in the population, it's going to lead to an increase in the disease rate. That is the rate at which this disease is going to spread in that population or community. Next, on genetics and variation, if the cross of a red flower plant with a white flower plant produces a pink flowered plant, is an example of what we call incomplete dominance. Okay, it means that the gene, okay, for redness and whiteness, they are both dominant, or that they are both recessive. So in this case, when an organism is getting like these genes together, then there's going to be what we call incomplete dominance, which is going to lead to the development of what we call borderline trait, meaning the organism is not going to be to one side. So it will not be red, it will not be white, it's producing something like in between red and white, or a different color, okay, like pink. All right, so that's incomplete dominance. You can also join our online tutorial classes for different classes. We have tutorials for students in SS1, 2, or 3. We also have for UTME candidates, for JAMB candidates, for students who want to write the JAMB or the UTME exam, and for those who want to have the post-UTME exam after the UTME exam, and also for candidates that are sitting for WAEC exam or GCE or NECO. And we offer this tutorial on various platforms, so you could join us on WhatsApp, or on Telegram, it could be on Zoom or on Google Classroom. So we have various platforms where we take our tutorial. The links to join the platform are available on our website at scholarph.com, or you could also check it out in the video description below. Next, on evolution, which of the following theories was not considered by Darwin in his evolutionary theory? Use and disuse was Lamarck's idea of evolution. Okay, it was Lamarck's idea of evolution, and it was not a cornerstone of Darwin's evolution theory. It was not one of those bases, or one of those ideas that were considered in Darwin's evolution theory. The theory of use and disuse were that of was Lamarck's idea, Jean Lamarck's idea. Next, on genetics and variation, the crossing of individuals of the same species with different genetic characters is called crossbreeding. Okay, crossbreeding, crossing of individuals of the same species with different genetic character. Next, the number of alleles controlling blood groups in humans are or is. There are 3 alleles. Okay, there are 3 alleles controlling blood group. We have A, B, and O. Those are the 3 alleles that control blood groups in humans. But we have 4 blood groups. Okay, we have the blood group A, we have the blood group B, we have the blood group AB, and we have the blood group O. Okay. Next, also on genetics and variation, during blood transfusion, agglutination may occur as a result of the reaction between. Agglutination is what we call the clumping of red blood cell, and it occurs as a result of the action between 2 contrasting antigens and antibody. Okay, it happens when you do a blood transfusion between 2 people that are of different blood groups that are not compatible. For example, when you try to do a blood transfusion between somebody of blood group A to somebody of blood group B, or from blood group B to A. Okay, so these two, there's no compatibility, so agglutination is going to occur, which is the reason why doing blood transfusion or before blood transfusion, the donors, the person that wants to donate the blood, their blood gets tested first. Okay, so their blood group needs to be determined first. So we need to look at, is this blood group compatible? Can it donate? Can it give to to this person, to the recipient? Okay, so that needs to be considered. It's not just direct transfusion, but compatibility needs to be checked. In a case where compatibility is not, where you don't have compatibility between the blood groups that are being, where they are being transfused, they are going to have what we call agglutination, the clumping of blood cells, which can lead to, it can be very fatal. It can lead to death of the recipient. Next, on evolution, the fallacy in Lamarck's evolutionary theory was the assumption that assumption that the acquired traits are inheritable, meaning that, for example, a father who is athletic as a result of training and practice. So his idea, Lamarck's idea of evolution, okay, the theory of use and disuse, is that kind of a father or a parent would give birth to an offspring that would also be athletic. That is, that trait that father has acquired from training can be transferred to his offspring. So his son is going to inherit, that trait. So his offspring will also be athletic. They'll be good in whatever sport that father, is good in. So this idea does not have any genetic background. Okay, there's no gene for athleticism. So like gene for athletic, that athletic trait. Okay, that can be transferred and all of that. So that was his fallacy, that those traits that have been acquired can be inherited by offspring. Next, on adaptation, the bright colored eye spots on the wings of moths are an example of mimicry. Mimicry is where an organism, okay, it imitates the traits of another organism that is distasteful, that is disgusting, okay, or dangerous or colorful, and the essence of that is to dissuade a predator. Okay, kind of like to irritate the predator. Okay, to dissuade the predator away from that organism. So you find it in organisms like the butterfly, the moth, and in some snakes. Okay, so they have what we call mimicry, where they resemble another organism that is, distasteful or disgusting. The last question for this year on evolution: the wings of a bat and those of a bird are examples of. So similarities in the possession of some features like wings. So we have wings in birds and we have wings in bats. So this similarity is an example of what we call convergent evolution. Okay, convergent evolution. What that suggests is that those organisms, they have, like a common origin. It suggests that they may have descended from a common ancestor. Okay, so the wings in birds, insects and bats are examples of convergent evolution. Okay, don't forget to check out our playlist. We have different playlists. We have for full solutions to UTME or JAMB questions and in physics, chemistry and biology. We also have for modular quizzes as well. Okay, we'll also have a playlist for post UTME or post JAMB exam, and also for crash courses in physics, chemistry and biology. So don't forget to check out our playlist for the available videos. So that's it for this recording. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Scholarph. Okay, like and share our content, and visit our website at scholarph.com to practice UTME exam and modular quizzes for free. Thank you.